Let me just get my hat on straight here. What do we got? There, how's that? A little better? All right, this is kind of a surprise live. Welcome to the den. No, we'll start over. Welcome to the den, Authentic Barnwood. My name is Troy, and today I have a pretty good video for you. It's a live, obviously, so welcome. And if you're watching on replay, hey, check it out. We're gonna try and keep it nice, short, sweet, maybe 20 minutes or so. I just got a few things that I wanna talk about, and it has everything to do with this deck that I'm standing on. It's gonna be kind of a unique video because this time around, well, it's winter, right? So I get to give you a little bit of an update. It's been 5 years since this deck has been built, and I'll show you it here real good in a second. And yeah, so I'm excited you're here. I want to talk about this experiment that we had. Okay, so this is the 5-year update on building this reclaimed wood deck, and it's named our epoxy deck rebuild. So while we wait for some people to join in here, I'm gonna show you something. This deck, of course, it's snowing out, right? Has to be, but I'll try and get you flipped around. All right, check out this reclaimed wood deck. Okay, this is an update from 5 years ago. Hey, Roo. Roozer, Roo Bear. All right. Cleaned off the deck. I didn't know people were gonna come or not. All right, well, here, let me start now, okay? Welcome to the den. I'll get you cleared out here. Welcome to the den, Authentic Barnwood. Let's see, we got you on here. We got a tripod. There we go, nice. See a little bit behind me? Good, looking good. Well, we got 31 people in here so far. Nice, welcome. I just want to give a quick little update. It's kind of cool that we're finally doing it. This deck was built back in 2020, okay, in the summer of 2020. What was it, August, I think, July, August. Took a little bit, 6 weeks or so, built this, plus the one in the front as well. So today, this is like a almost 6-year update on this epoxy reclaimed wood deck. Was it worth it? What went right and what went wrong? I'm gonna kind of cover a little bit of that right now. So the interesting part about this whole project is that it's ongoing. It was an experiment, right? This was during COVID, you gotta think. So everyone was kind of, well, they stuck us at home, right? And this is what we chose to do with some of our time, was build this reclaimed deck. So yes, I'm in Canada, and we get some pretty cold winters, like somewhere in the middle of Canada and Manitoba, right? So right now, it's not a bad winter day, but it's still pretty cold, and of course it's snowing. So it's kind of nice to get that other perspective of this project because if you look at the playlist and you check out our channel, it's a 3-part series. That was actually one of our first, well, that was our very first series that I ever made. So that was near like going on like 7 years ago. Yeah. Anyways, this is one of the first series. So if you can get through a little bit of that, I watched it today, actually. I watched it all through, just so I wasn't talking craziness. Hey, it's been a while. But a lot of that information I put on there was pretty good. And I'm happy that I kind of put it out there that this was a complete experiment, right? So this is the experiment that we've been working on, and I'm happy to give you an update on it. Now, what's going to happen with the update? This is going to be, this is just going to be kind of the intro before I make the actual video on the whole update. So it's cold enough out here. If I keep you plugged in to like a little battery pack, we should be able to keep rocking here. Hopefully, we'll see. We got 98% battery, so we should be good for a little while, plus whatever's in here. All right. So any of the questions that you guys might have about salvaging wood, barnwood, and using it for projects around the house or other people's houses, go ahead and put them in the comments, because this here is a perfect example of what we can do with the old wood that's out in the barns and houses and greeneries, you know, that dot our prairie skyline. So like I said earlier, there's a bunch more people in here. Welcome, by the way. But so this reclaimed wood deck was built in 2020, like I was saying, back in August. So I built it using reclaimed wood, fir mostly, also some cedar. I know I didn't touch like near anything for this whole railing. It's been the exact same wood this whole time. I never had to replace any of that. However, the deck top, yeah, I had to replace it. Of course, I did that actually this summer. And that's what the video is going to be about. What I did to when I was doing my experiment, and also what I would be doing different if I was to do it again, which I have. Yeah, so what do you think? This here, this is near 650 square feet, I think, somewhere in there. Might be even 700. But like back behind, there's also like the hot tub area too, right? So barbecue, main deck. Of course, we got everything off of it, but I think, say I wrote a few notes here. So, yeah, so the whole frame that's underneath here, that is also reclaimed wood. So everything about this, I don't know, I think to probably do a deck like this now would be about, I'd say 30 grand probably to do the whole thing. Probably 30, maybe 40, because there's also another 100 and some square feet in the front walkway as well. So the good news about using that old wood versus using new wood was it's still in good shape. There is a section of this deck like that's 10 years old and 11 years old, and it's completely fine. Like all I did was once I took the whole, I took the whole top off of this whole deck, everything that was epoxied, all the work that was done in those 3 videos, I lifted all of it up and burnt it all. But the good news was that the frame underneath was still as good as it was the day I put it in. And the day I put it in, the wood was still 80 or 90 years old. So this fir was an excellent choice for building this deck. But if you go back onto the channel and you watch anything about those the 3 videos that I put out about building the reclaimed wood deck, you'll I think in that video you'll notice that I used sacrificial boards as well, because I knew that it was like a no-no to interlock all the wood and put it down because the water would seep into it. But okay, so I knew that. I didn't talk much about that, but what I did as the experiment was to interlock everything together and make sure that this deck was on the slope so the water would fall and run off and it wouldn't pool in areas. So that actually is still working for me. you may not be able to see it on the camera, but down in that far corner is where, you know, it all slopes down to, and of course out away from the house. So I thought between that and also using that sealant, the sealer, that stuff was, oh, that stuff right there, the epoxy sealant, that was the stuff that treated the wood and went into the fibers. That was the stuff that let this like actually last for years. So I did get 5 years out of it. I probably could have replaced the top a year prior as well. So was it a bad idea? I don't know. I built this whole deck, so like the labor was my time, and the expense of themselves was actually going out to get the wood, because I did that myself. So yeah, like I saved like a fortune, right? I remember I had like a 12 by 12 deck there with the railing around it, that aluminum stuff. I took all that apart, sold it all, including what I had in the front, and I had enough wood to buy all the epoxy to do this whole project experiment with. And then of course I just used beams and some of this Barnwood, which I'll show you in a bit, on the sides, which are still fine because they, you know, the water ran off of everything. But going back to the deck itself, some of the things that weren't in my favor was the winter, like we have right now. So during the winter, because all that wood was interlocked so tight, when it did shift, it was like a crack, right? And like you could hear it in the house, and that was like a constant thing. So it was like almost like our thermometer, because every time that the temperature would go down, our deck would start cracking, because everything would start shifting, right? Just shifting a little bit, which cracked the epoxy. Then come spring, you know, it just started to deteriorate from there. But I think the biggest problem was the UV. Absolutely, the UV was the biggest problem. So having said that, like something like what we're under right now, where the hot tub is, like you need some kind of a cover over that, like to give that UV protection, or you just keep on like applying that stuff every year. But this time, putting down new reclaimed wood, I just done it, you know, like any other deck, and I put spacing in between all the boards so the water can run off, and of course crowned up and all those things, right? So I kind of built it more normal, like you might say. Here, let me just get you turned around. Cool. Oh, yeah. Whoa, we got a few comments here. Right on. I will show you more about this deck. This video, this is really the first video. It's like the behind the scenes thing, because I plan on making a full video on the update of this, and maybe using some of the comments from here in this live, I'll try and incorporate those in, because like it's winter out, right? I should be inside making videos. So a few things that didn't work right for me was that UV rays. The UV from the sun just kills the epoxy. The cracking of it, you know, and that cold weather shifting, putting it together, definitely didn't do me any favors either. Also, one you might not think about, and that goes for pretty much any deck, is the carpets that you can buy. Outdoor carpet, like that's going to be best, or like a deck specific, you know, something that you can put down so it's nice to walk on your feet, example, it looks nice, etc. Yeah, but water gets trapped underneath there. And that was one thing that like I fought with my wife about. Like, you know where you put your table, and we had this like rug, and you could tell it was just like eating the deck away right there, because the water was just trapped there all summer long. So I finally won, but we got rid of it. We got a better one, but the damage is already done. So that was one thing that really was a downer. Now, I got great video actually, and some of that video is the hot tub once it was moved, and the perfect epoxy underneath it. Yeah, it was something else. So yeah, like I don't think that it's, I wouldn't say that it's a definite no, do not epoxy your deck. I think there's certain situations where, yeah, I would definitely do it again. And I know I got a bunch of tips from doing it before. I watched, like, the one major one was to add in some kind of a thinner so you could have longer to work with it. So got lots of experience with this stuff now. I don't think I would recommend anyone doing it unless it was in like a sunroom. That might be a great place where it's completely covered and it's more like a flooring in there versus like just like getting pounded on by Mother Nature. So here, let me show you something. Okay, I'm gonna flip you around. That's a little better. Yes. So some reclaimed wood, I put it in. Like that's all fir right there where our barbecue spot is, right? A little bit of like metal there. It's been stained twice. That railing has been stained twice. And this has been stained once, right? The only thing we have to really be careful of with that old wood is running the shovel on it, right? I don't know, we'll have to fix that up with some sandpaper, I guess, and a little bit of stain in the spring. But apart from that, like, this deck has turned out like really, really well. Yeah, in the summertime, it's really nice. Right, like all that railing that's on that deck, that actually came from a house that was from, before the 1900s. It was in the 1800s, late 1800s. Those rafters from that house, right? But we got lots of room, right? We got like a couch and everything we can lay out here. We got our table area, and then down to the hot tub area. Yeah, so the one thing that did save this deck, because like I was saying earlier, you know, I ripped up the whole top, right? Because it was all interlocked and it was in tape. But I put sacrificial boards down prior to that, knowing that I might just rot this boards out in no time. Yeah, so by putting the sacrificial boards down, I was able to like save all the framing. It was just back in that back corner where I had the water going. I didn't have quite enough lip, so I rotted out a little bit on the backside. That was my own fault though, so I fixed that up, and everything's kind of ticking along, right? So I'm looking forward to making the full-length video for this. Anyone there that's been following along, like, go ahead, hit that like button. I don't know if you can tell, like, I'm starting to shiver a little bit. Yeah, so this is it. Flip you around again. Oh, hey, you just stay in. Yeah, so we got tons and tons of snow here, right? And the one thing that we do is definitely shovel off all of that snow from our deck. Like, it's a tremendous, tremendous amount of weight, that snow. And including, like, itself, the fir. These are all they were 2x12s out of a building, and I took all the pieces that were broken and just cut them into whatever I could possibly do. I got a bunch of 4s, 5s, 6s, 9s, and some 11s. So I kind of mix matched everything and made a design out of it on this deck top. But that was a tremendous amount of weight too. Like, that Douglas fir is, what is it, like 2.5 to 3 pounds of board foot, probably. Yeah, probably right in there. That's what the Google tells us too. So, like, there's a ton of weight on here. So I kind of looking back on it, you'll see in the video when I do make it that maybe I should have bulked up a little bit more on the frame. But then again, I don't think it's the wood that's going to be the weak part. It's going to be the shitty screws that you buy from the lumber store. Has anyone noticed that those screws, like deck screws, have gotten like thinner? Is it just me, or is it happening to our screws too? Anyway, so yeah, got a few comments. Oh, quite a few actually. Bunch of people saying hello. Are you gonna salvage the wood from the Austin elevator? No, probably not. I didn't know anything about that Austin elevator. I'll have to look into that. Austin, Manitoba. Hey, oh, you're nice. Have a great day. Wow, thank you. What country are you in? I am definitely in Canada. Like I was saying, I'm Manitoba. Like, the other person, the same. Right on. Okay. So there you go. That's what I know about this. What? Quick 20 minutes. It's kind of a little bit all over the board. I'll probably do another live tomorrow. Maybe it won't be raining, and I'll show you a little bit more on the front. So this is your chance. Go ahead, hit subscribe. If you're looking to learn more about reclaimed wood, Barnwood that is, and what we can do with it in some of our projects. Also, getting it, some of the, there's all kinds of stuff. I welcome you to go check out our channel. And hey, welcome to the den.